Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another live stream on the History Vibe podcast. And today I'm joined by Dave Farina. His YouTube channel is called Professor Dave Explains. I'll have the link to his channel tagged in the description below. It'll also be in the pinned comment. He has a very excellent channel, very really good content, very educational content. I've been watching it for many years, way before I even started History Valley. So I'm a big fan of his channel. And if you don't already know about his channel, if you haven't subscribed to it, go there, subscribe. He's got excellent content, especially debunking pseudoscience, frauds, and the likes of all that. And that being said, Dave, you're muted, by the way. Yeah.
I thought that was
no problem. So yeah, thank you for coming on today. It's been a while.
Happy to be here.
And to get started, I want to do a little recap real quick. For those that don't know what's going on at all about this whole Jay Dyer and Jim Bob thing. So who are they, from what you know about them, and how did you find out about them?
I mean, I didn't know who they were. I just sometimes I do reaction videos where I just kind of sometimes I'll sip a little scotch and then I play some videos and make fun of the idiots in them. And people send me stuff. So one day I was like, okay, I'm going to do like 3 or 4 in a row short of creationists. And one was, I mean, it said Jay Dyer, so that was the main guy, and then the other guy in the corner was apparently this other guy, Jim Bob, and they were just saying just the most idiotic things about evolutionary biology. They clearly had no idea what they were talking about, and I was just drinking and making fun of them and pausing and correcting the dumb things that they say. And the guy Jay Dyer saw it and was upset about it, so he made a little on one of his live streams. He talked about me for about 15 minutes, and he played the first 3 minutes of the 30 plus minutes of me making fun of them for being idiots. And he couldn't respond to anything I was saying. It devolved to the point where he was just doing a really racist Jew voice. Like I would say something, he'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" It's like that. It's literally that stupid. So I ignored it for a little bit, but then I got to this position where I did a debunk on Peter McCullough that took like 2 weeks to make, and I put all this effort in it, and it got throttled, and it got like 50, 60K views on the first day. I was like, well, what the hell? So I just decided I'm going to churn out some like low effort stuff. So I was like, here's one. I'll make fun of this guy Jay Dyer because he tried to reply to me, and I'll just mock the crap out of him for being a racist idiot. He lost his mind. The other guy, Jim Bob, in the video was like, I hate this guy. I was on Myth Vision podcast, and Jim Bob demanded to be let in to debate me. And so I made fun of him for a half an hour there because he has absolutely no idea how anything works with biology. I'm finally of a size as a channel where when I debunk somebody or make fun of somebody, especially if it's a smaller channel, 100K subs or 50K subs or something, it's like the most epic event for them, and they make 80 videos, how dumb Dave is. I'm just like, they're like, I look at both of them as a bug under my shoe. So it's just been pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know what does it look like on your end?
Yeah, I've seen this kind of stuff before, and what's so funny to me and sad and pathetic at the same time is Jay. He's such an asshole and massive racist that yeah, I saw that. I'm going to play a little bit of that here, where he's just making he's doing that Jew voice like that you were talking about.
I mean, I'm not even Jewish. Like, it would be offensive enough, right? But the fact that I'm not even Jewish, it's like, what are you doing, man? Like, what is that?
Like, right. He hates Jews, and it's obviously to a level where he's seeing them everywhere, even on people that aren't Jewish, as you were just saying.
Yeah.
And the best response he had against your argument, which wasn't a response at all, was doing that Jew voice, and that was it.
Yeah, it's really remarkably sad.
Yeah, and I'm gonna play a couple of clips in a second here because I want to show people why Jay Dyer is not worth debating, because he debated somebody that I had on. I had him on yesterday to talk about his debate that he did with Jay Dyer years ago. T-Jump. Tom Jump did a debate with Jay Dyer, and it was awful because Jay was interrupting the entire time. Like he couldn't even finish a sentence. It was that bad. And then he accuses Tom of committing the argument from authority. You remember when Jay was making a video about you, he was saying, "Oh, you're not a real professor," and all this other crap.
Yeah.
Well, he was going after Tom in a somewhat similar way, but from a different vantage point. He was saying that Tom was committing the argument from authority fallacy. Then he commits the argument of authority fallacy himself in a different way by stating that I have a master's in philosophy, so you should believe everything I say. But he actually doesn't have a master's of philosophy. He's lying. It's fake. I'll be getting to that in just a second.
A bunch of people have been bringing that to my attention. I was thinking I may or may not do one more little quick dunk on him, like 10, 15 minutes, just sort of exposing the whole not having a master's thing, just because, I don't know, it's easy. Like, everybody's been feeding me this stuff. I'm like, might as well make another 10-minute video just to make sure as many people as possible know that he is a liar and a fraud.
Yeah. I suspect, although I'm not positive, that may be because of the video I released on my channel recently, a few days ago. I'm not even in the video. The video has Jay Dyer from the Tom Jump debate claiming that he has a master's degree that he doesn't have, and I show there's screenshots in the video where the commenter is saying this guy does not have a master's of philosophy. The Murray State University does not have. I think that's what it's called, doesn't have a master's of philosophy program. So we'll be getting to that in just a second. But first, I want to show that racist nonsense that he does with that Jew voice. We'll start in 17 minutes 30. Just so that people get a good idea what we're dealing with here.
Yeah. This is what genes do. Talk about this. Talk about base pairing. Talk about codons. You can't do it because you don't know what this is. Cry about it. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Okay.
About it. You don't know what molecular biology is.
You don't know what anything is. Well, you don't know.
Holy shit, man, you really put me in my place there. Hang on, that was such a profound rebuttal to basic principles of molecular biology that I don't think I was able to absorb it all the first time. Let's get that again.
You don't know what anything is. Well, you don't know.
Okay, I got it this time.
I just love how you slowed that down, and it sounded like he was mooing.
Yeah, I like to do that too. Who else have I done that to? I think I've done it to Tucker Carlson. It's I mean, it's Jay is a Phil bro. There's this whole class, Sabor Ahmad is another one. There's these people who, because of religious indoctrination, hate any science that challenges their worldview. But they're science illiterate and stupid. Like, there's no way they're going to learn the vernacular. Like, Discovery Institute people are way better at becoming educated in the sciences and trying to use the vernacular of science to disprove science. It's very convincing. It's much more difficult to debunk. These guys, they don't even learn ninth grade biology. They don't know. They know nothing. So in order to pretend to discredit science, they pretend that they inhabit this more basal epistemological layer, right? They use this philosophy jargon to be like, science is wrong because da 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 da. Well, no, it's not. You just don't understand science. So that's literally all you can do. Whenever I'm talking about molecular biology, all he can do is because he literally doesn't even know what the words mean that I'm saying. He couldn't pass a ninth grade biology quiz. So it's very embarrassing for people like that.
And I'm gonna have it continue up to the 20-minute time stamp, so it's not too far off. And because because of what he says there is going to lead up to the to what I'm talking about with the argument from authority stuff that he pulls.
All of molecular biology is wrong because you made a whiny cartoon voice. I've been teaching science incorrectly this entire time. Also, I could be wrong.
Right. Give me 1 second. I don't know why. There we go. for some reason I couldn't get it
Mhm.
to do this.
Okay, I got it this time. All of molecular biology is wrong because you made a whiny cartoon voice. I've been teaching science incorrectly this entire time. Also, I could be wrong, but that started sounding pretty stereotypically Jewish at the end. Do you think this guy hates Jews? Does anyone want to tell him that I'm not Jewish or that racism is bad? Therefore, it is a code from a human mind, or
Oh, Professor Dave, does the code come from the computer? Oh, is the code in the computer meaningful? Oh, or is it meaningless? Ugh.
Okay, it seems like this is the angle he's going to stick with for the rest of the video, and Hyper Pryor seems to be impressed by it, since he thought it was worth $10 of his hard-earned money. Can you believe this douchebag has even a single follower?
Yeah, that is pathetic. That somebody sends him a super chat money
while he's doing that. Like, yeah, you get him with your Jew voice. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, this cult surrounding these guys is absolutely insufferable. I barely ever, the only one that I've ever seen that is worse, it was Matt Walsh. When Matt Walsh sent his cult to get me, that was the worst ever. This is maybe the second worst after that. Wow. The toxicity is unparalleled. It's unbelievable.
Do you know what are the odds of even 150 amino acids lining up perfectly to make a protein and have it?
What are the odds, dumbass? Go ahead and do the math for us. 150 amino acids lining up perfectly. What do you mean lining up perfectly? They polymerize. They spontaneously polymerize. You get 150 of them in a row. There you go. You got 150 of them in a row.
Oh, everything just happens. Oh, everything happens. It just is. You're right. It just is.
Yep, this is definitely all he's got. Whining about how I don't engage with anything while refusing to engage with anything and then doing this dumb voice whenever he doesn't understand a thing I said. Yes, some things just happen, dipshit. Chemical reactions just happen. They're happening all the time, all around you. Amino acids just polymerize. I don't need to turn this into a James Tour debunk, but even if you're talking prebiotically, there are numerous mechanisms by which amino acids spontaneously polymerize.
All right, so now I'm going to switch to the next video that you made about him. And that's going to take me towards the fake master's degree claim. Okay, but before I get there, I want to show everybody this because this is what his buddy Jim Bob, Jay Dyer's buddy, was posting. I know you showed this in one of your videos already, but I want to show it to the audience. So look what he did to Dave's nose there in that thumbnail, because he's against, and it's rank anti-Semitism. He's trying to give him that Jew nose, which is what they like to do when they make pictures attacking Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, really pathetic and infantile. But that's what that exchange was. He begged to be let on to try to fish for some kind of little clip that would make it seem like he got a point on me or something. He didn't the entire time, but he made it up anyway. He was trying to fish for me to say that thing, but I didn't say it. So he just pretends that I said it. And just like, it's funny because if you watch the clip, like it's very clear what I'm saying. So his idiot fans don't even watch the 1 minute clip. They just laugh at the thumbnail and then go, haha, you got him. Like it's the most pathetic thing I've ever seen.
And I want to show what's one more thing real quick. It's gonna perfectly line up with the next thing I'm gonna play here, because again, it's like you point out that Jay Dyer tries to turn everything into philosophy he doesn't understand, and Jim Bob is doing exactly the same thing. He's even in his screenshot he posted in his community tab. You can't do science without philosophy, he says.
Yeah, you can.
Right.
It's
right,
like
so
they're trying to inhabit this like era of history that is like the earliest era of modern philosophy, where empiricism was like a philosophical school of thought, and we're trying to figure out, like, does empiricism work? Can we do empirical science? Well, fast forward 300-400 years. Spoiler alert, yes, we can. Technology exists. We do science. We discern things about the physical world. We learn about it, and then we make technology that wouldn't work if what we knew wasn't true. It's not a valid philosophical position to pretend that scientific inquiry is invalid. I'm sorry. So they just wish they lived in 1650 and could be like, is science a thing or is it not? I'm not sure. Well, it is. Sorry, but
Right. Let me get this thing at 6 minutes. 6 minutes, 1 second. That's good enough.
Isn't a real professor, and atheism is a psyop. Holy fuck, this ought to be good.
Professor Dave, who, by the way, isn't actually a professor, and I looked into what he actually is. He has a BA, not knocking a BA, but he has a degree now in education, apparently. He's not actually a tenure professor. He's not actually a teaching professor at a university. He said, yes, I did teach a semester at a trade school. Oh, a trade school? You mean like where they teach HVAC and VCR repair? So he taught chemistry a semester at a trade school. Bob Vance heating and air. Dude was over there lecturing next to Bob Vance.
It's so cute when they do this, and always with the action movie soundtrack, of course. The reality of your incompetence isn't exciting enough, eh, moron? Unsurprisingly, he is pulling all of this completely out of his ass. There is no clip of me saying I taught a semester anywhere. That's why he's not telling you where he heard this, because he didn't. I taught organic chemistry at the Southern California University of Health Sciences from April 2010 to October 2013. That's 3.5 years for anyone who can't do the math, Jay. Yes, it's a trade university. No, they don't teach VCR repair. Health sciences, dumbass. The sciences specifically pertaining to medicine and health. It's in the name of the school. My students were mainly adult postbacks taking care of prerequisites they didn't take as undergrads in order to apply for various medical programs. Is the place fucking MIT? No, and I don't wave it around for any kind of prestige. It's a university that exists. I taught there as a job. My channel was initially just my university organic chemistry lectures. That's why I chose that name. And every time you losers whine about it, you're just announcing that you have zero ability to refute anything I say, hence the transparent ad hominem. See how smart people can actually use that term correctly?
And he's like, but now people are saying that he uses a lot of AI and other professors write his videos for him, so he doesn't even write the videos.
So is it AI or is it other professors, dipshit? Make up your mind. I don't use AI for anything, and for topics way outside of my expertise, I hire experts in the field to write the scripts. I studied chemistry, so I wrote the scripts for chemistry and adjacent topics, like biochemistry, biology, math, physics, astronomy, and more. To expand beyond that, I have to utilize the expertise of others.
I wanted to take it up to that part right there, because what you said right there is really going to lead up very well of what I'm about to play in a second here. But just one more clip I want to play from this video for now, and then I'll get to the fake master's degree part. Because what he was insinuating there is that you can't have other people on your channel to substitute for you to cover other topics that you need experts to help you on. It's like saying the same kind of crap to me. It's just, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, I hire experts to make sure my content is really good. What's the problem?
Right.
Pseudo-intellectual fashion, along with his marathon live stream cope fest, Jay started barking all over the internet about how I would never debate him. I'm so scared and I would get wrecked. Here he is pretending that he challenged me to a debate and that I declined. That's funny. My email inbox is suspiciously empty, big guy. This is all these loser cult leaders can do.
I want to show everybody what you posted there real quick, because this is why Jay Dyer is an absolute waste of time to debate. Now I'm gonna play some segments of that video I was talking about earlier.
Important kill stream history We're usually so well organized and so put together.
Yeah, this video right here is an absolute disaster. I was going over this with Tom Jump and Jim Valiant last night.
Kinds of presuppositions or preconditions that are necessary and have to be the case for those knowledge claims to be possible.
I should probably go back like another minute because he makes a statement about dismissing everybody else in the philosophy category.
In philosophy, that would be the disciplines of knowledge, or epistemology, ethics, and metaphysics. These are the three branches of philosophy. We really only see one type of being that can ground and give a coherent explanation, justification, and explanatory power to how it's possible for there to be knowledge, ethics, and claims about reality. So I'm making an argument at a paradigm level. It's called a transcendental argument. It's an argument about preconditions of experience. It's not an argument about experience itself, but rather the preconditions or what's necessary for the possibility of experience, knowledge, or ethics. So two different levels of argumentation. I can show you the logical form of that argument, show that it's a perfectly valid form of argumentation. So the argument is just simply that when we look at the world and when we make knowledge claims, when we make claims about ethics or metaphysics, there's all kinds of presuppositions or preconditions that are necessary and have to be the case for those knowledge claims to be possible. So I'm not talking about any specific knowledge claim in this case. I'm talking about a higher level, a meta level claim about the possibility of knowledge claims. So these preconditions are things like universals, abstract concepts, the status of objects, the identity of objects over time, the principle of induction, the external world having a reality to it that's not just simply mental, that there is a self that underlies all of our perceptions. All of these things are not reducible to matter. They're not, in other words, it would lead to an absurdity reductio to reduce all of these preconditions to matter. And so therefore they do have some ontological existence, some real existence. And so the only possible way,
the vast the consent
that there are transcendental categories or preconditions, and the argument for God's existence is that he is the only possible justification or ground for those things. So that is the transcendental argument.
Mr. Jump, would you like to respond to that, or?
Yeah, sure. So just to clarify, so you're saying that all of the experts in all of those fields who wrote the books on literally all of those topics that you mentioned, they're all wrong. All of their worldviews, majority of which are atheist, non-religious people, they have some logical contradiction in their worldview.
That's completely irrelevant to a formal argument. You're appealing to authority.
So it's already a disaster. Tom can't even get his introductory argument laid out before he's interrupted. So you see that Tom is not interrupting Jay at all when he was spewing his nonsense, and now it's just interruption time.
Yeah,
and it's gonna stay like that. But the next hour, like the rest of this debate, is just horrible.
Yeah, I mean, it just like he's trying to take this thing of like, is anything real? Can anything be real? Can we know anything? Like he's trying to do like solipsism or something. And it's like, if you want to do that, you can, but then you can't go, but my God is real because I say so, because I just want my God to be real. Like it's such an unbelievable double standard to just reject all of empirical knowledge, which you can, if you're like, maybe I'm a brain in a vat and none of this is real. You can do that if you want to, but you can't then turn around and make just this like grandiose claim. It's like God is real because it just is. It just is. It's so infantile. It's incredible.
He's presupposing a deity, and then he's presupposing on top of that it's his God specifically. Yeah. It's like, how do you know which God it is, assuming there is one?
Yeah, it's a way for idiots to hyper intellectualize their blind faith that they've been brainwashed with. That's it. It's as simple as you can put it.
So no, it's not actually what I'm doing at all.
Well, there are plenty of authority. There are plenty of authorities.
Stop, Jay. Let me finish the question.
There are plenty of authorities who share my view.
No, actually, there aren't. The consensus view is against everything you just said. No, so there might be a few.
I mean, well, you're going to arbitrarily limit which disciplines you.
No, I'm going to take the majority.
I could give you a host of continental philosophers.
So he wants to claim that Tom is limiting what kind of authorities he can use. What Jay himself is already doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jay, I don't care.
Philosophers.
Jay, stop interrupting. So the consensus of experts, the vast majority.
There is no.
There is. Why
no,
do you,
there isn't.
Yeah, there is.
It's total bullshit.
You
start the argument with bullshit.
Stop. There is a paper that literally asked for the consensus on these topics. The field surveys paper where they did actually do this. Yes, that's a consensus.
That means nothing in a formal debate.
You said
you started your apologetic is a fallacy.
Why are you still interrupting? Stop. You said
because you're not even making arguments.
All right, let him. Hold on, Jay. Jay, let him get in there. Let him get in there. I'll definitely give you all your time. Go ahead, Mr. Jump.
So Jay said there was no consensus. I just proved him wrong on that. There's literally
a paper is not consensus.
Jay has his head up his ass. So a consensus is what the vast majority of the experts in the field agree on, and there is a paper that polls the vast majority of experts, and so they do agree on this. So there is a consensus. That is literally what consensus means. And all of the majority of people who wrote the books on every.
So now I'm going to get to the master's degree part, and this is the thing, right? Notice the way Jay is treating Tom.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what happened to anybody else if they debated Jay. So he keeps saying this and keeps saying that he's dismissing scholars. Then he tries to say, I want you to go with my scholars, my apologetical scholars. And so he dismisses experts, then he cherry picks which experts he thinks somebody should listen to.
Yeah, totally.
That's all this is, and it's like that. It's pretty much on repeat throughout this entire debate. So I'm only going to play two more small parts of it, and then we'll be done with that. But let's get to the master's degree part.
Ignorant of philosophy, like literally
go to have a master's in philosophy. You have no philosophy. Have a master's in philosophy. You have no philosophy. Have a master's in philosophy. You have no philosophy.
Right.
Yeah, but you come on and say that somebody doesn't know who does have a degree, which you appeal to the experts before. So actually, if I have a master's, right, shouldn't I be in that class of the experts?
It's not even a terminal degree. Like it's like the utmost experts have doctorates in any field. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So the game he's trying to play here is I win the debate because I have a master's of philosophy. And you don't have a master. He doesn't even have a master's of philosophy. He's just lying.
Right. He's appealing to his own authority that doesn't exist while pretending that Tom is appealing to authority, which he's not.
Right. It's circular as all hell. And it's very interesting that it's circular because I'm going to play something else. I kid you not. He admits to making a circular argument, and he admits it with pride in the debate. It's absolutely hilarious. I'm going to finish this real quick.
Oh, hell no, you're dumb as shit.
I have a master's in philosophy. You have no philosophy.
So Alex points out here, I think Jay Dyer is lying about having a master's degree in philosophy. He went to Murray State University, but they seem to have never offered a master's degree in philosophy. Yeah.
Master's in philosophy. You have no philosophy.
If I have a master's.
Now, notice what Jay does on the top there. When he realizes, oh no, I got caught in my lies, he tries to say, oh, it's an ABT, all but thesis. He didn't say that in the debate. Which, if it's all but thesis, that means you don't have a master's degree anyway. Why are you even bringing it up?
Yeah, I mean, I almost finished a master's degree in organic chemistry. I didn't do the thesis. I quit before that. I don't go around saying I have a master's degree in organic chemistry. I went back and did one in science education, which is way easier. But yeah, that's if you didn't finish, you didn't finish, dude. You don't have one. Oh, also, he didn't start one. The program wasn't that, so he's just lying more. But
precisely. So the whole thing just an absolute lie. That takes me to this next part. Yeah, let me get it ready. Okay, I'll just start it there.
You're an ignorant fool. You lost the debate.
You are definitely
you lost. That means you lose.
Okay.
No one agrees with me is not an argument.
How does God justify?
No one agrees with me is not an argument.
Okay, ignorant fool. How does God justify?
So here you go again. All you have is that. That's all you got.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
That means you've lost.
But so how does God justify knowledge claims?
By the transcendental argument.
What? So if God needs to make an argument, does he have to presuppose language to make the argument?
God doesn't need to make an argument.
Oh,
Literally,
it's
your
not on the
IQ,
transcendental
like I
argument. It's
can't
not-
even.
How
Like,
does
it's
God
like
justify knowledge?
there's no point in arguing the transcendental argument with you because I don't think you're
How does-
physically
how
and
does
mentally
God-
capable of understanding the argument. So
Your
you're
argument.
gonna.
Well, that's funny because Jay is mentally incapable of understanding science.
Yeah, and philosophy too. It seems like, but
Yeah, all of
definitely
that.
science. I mean, yeah.
Have to go to do
Your
other
argument-
kinds of
your
arguments because
argument
this is
is that-
never. You're never going to get this.
I'll get my 2 minutes. So God is the necessary precondition of all knowledge.
You
and if-
said, does God have to prove himself? Like that has nothing to do. Does God have to argue his own
Jay, shut up.
presupposition?
Jay,
That has
shut up.
nothing to do with my argument. I
shut up.
gave you formal arguments.
Jay,
I
shut up.
gave you
So,
formal arguments,
Can I get my
and
like
you
2 minutes?
respond.
Can I get my-
Dude,
Yeah, when I was saying this guy is interrupting throughout the entire debate, yeah, that was not an exaggeration.
Yeah, this is where, like, to do a thing like this, it has to be on a neutral platform with a moderator who will mute somebody who behaves that way. Like, that's the only way that a thing like this can work. When I did a debate with Sabor, there was only one time where, yeah, the moderator had to mute him for like 20 seconds because he just would not shut the fuck up. Usually it doesn't happen, but with Jay, yeah, like who is going to debate Jay unless the moderator will mute him when he does that? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there was no such moderation occurring practically at all in this debate. And in fact, it seems to be designed that way on purpose. It's blood sports, as he calls it, as a moderator calls it.
Yeah.
So it means it's supposed to be a train wreck. I'm like, you can't even, it's so bad, like you can't even learn anything. It's hard to learn from, because debates are usually, if it's structured correctly, it's very informative to the audience. And it could even change people's positions, at least some.
I mean,
on either side.
The thing is, I do prefer more freeform interaction. I am totally against debates that are exclusively like your time, rebuttal. Like, it has to be a back and forth, but it can't be that. You know what I mean? It has to be a back and forth where people actually talk to each other and respond to what each other says, you know? But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with that. In other words, it needs to be balanced, and it's not. It's too imbalanced. It's too chaotic.
Yeah,
you responded with no one agrees.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that's what happens when you debate frauds, because they have nothing. They have no ability to substantiate their views, and they have no ability to undermine yours. So it devolves into a circus sideshow. I mean, every debate I've done I've never done a real debate. I've done 6 or 7 debates with flat earthers and James Tour and, like, you know, who they're all exclusively frauds who are just obfuscating and utilizing sophistry and deceptive rhetoric the whole time. Like, that's it. And so it's just a fraud and me exposing a fraud. That's not really a debate, but yeah.
Go ahead.
No one agrees with you.
Ralph.
Go ahead. Say what you want. Give him 2 minutes. Go ahead.
That's
And then
not an argument.
Just let him say what he wants, and we'll take callers, and then we'll finish this up. Go ahead.
All right. So his argument was that God is the necessary precondition of knowledge claims. That's the first premise of his transcendental argument. And he says the way God grounds knowledge is through the argument, but the argument assumes God is the necessary precondition is one of the premises.
Correct.
So his argument is viciously circular. That is literally the definition.
Yeah, I believe in circular arguments.
What? Okay.
I believe in circular arguments at a paradigm level. So these kinds of arguments, they require.
Now wait. Now, to be fair, you accuse him of a circular argument, and like it was a bad thing, and that is usually something that's said. Now, why would you say that's not, Jay?
That's why we brought this out. So if we're making arguments like this, where we're making distributive, attributive claims, it's wrong to be circular. However, at the paradigm level, it's impossible to not be circular. That's the point. I believe the transcendental argument is an argument about circularity.
In philosophy, that's called a tautology, which
no, it's not. No, it's not.
That's literally
it's not. It's totally different. A transcendental argument is not a tautology.
Literally.
A transcendental argument.
So there it is. Jay admits with pride it's a circular argument, and he doesn't care.
Yeah. That's what this comes down to at a certain point. But you know, if you dress it up with the jargon of the field, oh, he's a scholar. You know, he's a learned scholar.
So I now like to pivot to your little your video with Jim Bob on Myth Vision. I'll play a couple of segments of that now.
Hey everyone, many of you.
I'll start here.
Full operation as if
I'm
it's
talking to Dave, dude. Just let me get the question out to Dave, dude.
Whatever.
Okay, he's the one who knows. He's gonna know. You're not gonna know.
You're right. Okay. It doesn't make any sense though.
So Dave, if it's a case that an early population, let's say it's asexual, starts some process unknown to itself, right? That's going to develop in the future the appendage we call a penis and a vagina. There has.
So it's. He has these ridiculous questions about body parts and not understanding the development of those body parts.
Well, it's an okay question. I mean, where did genitalia come from? It's a perfectly fine question, but I mean, the reason he's asking is because in the reaction video, Jay was doing this. Where's what good is 1/8 of a PP? There had to be 1/8 of a PP before there was a PP, and how can the 1/8 of a PP do that? It was like the most infantile thing I've ever seen. So he was like following up on that, basically like, where do penises come from? Is what he was, and I spent 15 minutes trying to explain it to him. He didn't understand anything I said, and he just kept asking the same question over and over again. And it's like, all right, dude, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, the reason, like, let me put it this way. Maybe I phrased it the wrong way. What I'm trying to say is he's using his ignorance of evolution and how things developed. And it's obviously being taken into the direction of what he already presupposes about God.
Yeah, it's an argument from incredulity. I mean, it's yeah, I don't get it, therefore God. I don't understand something, therefore God is pretty much his entire identity. So
and again, it makes me want to ask this question once more. Which God, assuming there is one, how do you know which God? I could presuppose any God. Shiva, Vishnu, Viracocha, whatever. How do you, Prometheus? Which God? What mechanism do we have to determine with magic glasses which God is the right one?
The Bible tells us, right? The Bible is true because the Bible says so. So we go with that one.
To be a moment where that begins, right? That's fair, right?
Okay, sure.
Okay. And if that begins, that means that the process from beginning to end, there has to be a slow, successive sort of building, right, of this appendage. This would be true of anything, like wings or anything, right?
Yeah. That's why I told you to look around the animal kingdom and look at the different kinds of penises. Like look at the penis of like a flatworm, a platyhelminth. Look at what that looks like. Do you know what that looks like? Do you know anything about flatworms?
No, I'm talking about humans.
Okay, and I'm talking about ancestral species, right? You're talking about the development of organs as though it happened in humans or human-like species or primate, right? These methods of sexual reproduction go back hundreds of millions of years, way before primates, way before mammals.
And what I want to say to that is, as you've seen constantly, these people that don't understand evolution, there's like, I need you to replicate it in a lab. I want to see evolution happen in front of me. Like you can't. It doesn't work that fast. That's what they don't understand.
Well, you can. We do observe evolution all the time, but you're not going to witness millions of years worth of evolution.
That's what I meant.
Overnight. Yeah. Yes, that's correct. I mean, I'm sorry, like sedimentary rock formation takes a super long time as well, right? But we understand how it works. We can look at sedimentary rocks and understand the mechanisms by which they form, and then we can look at other sediments and see, they're being deposited on this rock, and we'll join the lattice of that rock. Right? You don't have to watch. We understand the lifetime of stars and all of these other things, right? It's and some of those things they take issue with as well. If they're young Earth creationists, they say none of it is real. But some are a little more amenable to certain sciences, but not evolutionary biology, because that takes away special creation, right? They want to be people that God made that look just like this on purpose, But yeah, sorry.
Oh no, it's right. That's what they're doing. Is like you can observe small changes of evolution happening in a lab, but what they want to see is a more complex evolution occur in a far faster rate, and that's the part you can't.
They want to see a hedgehog give birth to a dolphin, which is something that would never happen and would disprove evolution if it did. That would be magic. That would be special creation. Yeah, that's it.
Right. So you're trying to imagine like a primate-like species with nothing and then suddenly a callus. And I'm telling you that all of this apparatus, all of this morphology evolved way before anything that you even think you're talking about.
I understand.
That's why I'm asking you, do you know what a flatworm penis looks like?
I understand, but just granting yourself a proto-penis still goes, it's the same question though. That means that like when I ask, how do you get, I usually ask, how do you get a liver from an earlier form that doesn't have what you call a liver? And you say, the answer is always the same. It's, well, you have a proto liver. So aren't you just saying right now, Dave, that you're granting yourself a proto liver already, or proto penis exists?
Not listening to anything I'm saying. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you, is that you can look at extant life today, extant animals that
I laughed so hard when I first heard that. Proto penis.
Yeah.
Like he is so obsessed with the proto penis. And
yeah, I mean, that's like, I'm just going to end up repeating everything I said in this exchange, but it's just like, that's why I keep bringing up extant life, is like, you don't even have to be talking about extinct species and the gradient of morphology that must have been. You can see that gradient of morphology in animals today, where no matter what biological system or what organ or what feature you want to talk about, there's a gradient of complexity that is around today, and those are remnants of or just speak to what kind of been before that generated that gradient in the first place. But yeah,
exists today, and no matter what you want to talk about, the digestive system, the circulatory system, the respiratory system, the immune system, you will see a dramatic spectrum with gradations of complication.
Yeah, that's what I just said, basically.
Right. There's two other parts that I noted. I'm gonna skip to 1640. And that's good enough right there.
If there are mutations, what then? Could the morphology that results also change?
No. Well, sometimes it changes, but if you're referring to an animal not properly forming something, right? Are you including that as a mutation?
New functionality, new morphology.
Okay, so you're saying at the individual level, you're observing in this case, an individual embryo in its growth developing a brand new functional appendage.
Yeah, just not like from absolutely nothing to something that exists today. That is the product of millions and millions of years. We're talking about a new feature that is then selected for and enhanced and different, complexifies over time.
Right? Okay, so in the individual level, what's an example of an appendage or some mutation that in the process of the embryo actually growing, it actually produces a functional advantageous appendage?
Webbed feet. I don't know.
Webbed feet? Is that wait, hold is that a dysfunction or a function?
If you live in the water, it's a function.
Wait. When we have webbed feet,
it would be dysfunction. That's why.
Wait. That's arbitrary. Hold on. No, that's totally.
So the reason why I wanted to play this timestamp is I want to show the audience how he's not learning a damn thing that Dave said the entire time. Probably not even remembering anything Dave said at all. And he keeps asking these endless questions about, okay, then how did this body part develop over time? How did that body part develop over time? It's endless. It never ends.
Yeah.
I just got one more part I'm going to play, but we'll be done with this one. Right right there is good.
But let's talk about wild animals.
Whoa,
Or
whoa, whoa.
In other words, all life prior to
Wait.
modern human civilization.
Wait a second.
You keep saying wait a second and cutting him off, but that if he did that to you, you'd
Neil,
freak out.
shut up.
Let him finish his point,
You
though.
shut up, dude. You're saying nothing. You're
Let
saying
Jim Bob
nothing,
answer
and
your
then
questions
you
before you stop him.
Wow.
Hold on, Jim Bob.
Okay,
Hold on.
Okay, Neil.
Let me just say something real quick. Jim
Okay,
Bob,
Neil.
you keep asking a question, and then as soon as he starts to answer it, you go, "Hold on a second, wait a minute. But what about this?" He never gets to finish the answer to your question.
I apologize.
You want to learn how new morphology arises. So I'm talking about mutations and embryonic development. Would you like to have that conversation, or do you want to keep shitting your pants about what modern humans are doing?
Well, the reason I'm asking the question about the selective process, if you're saying that having web feet as a mutation that happens in the embryo stage for an individual, if that thing produces web feet, the question I'm going to ask you, regardless if it's human or not, is how would you determine it's an advantage or a mutation that's a disadvantage? How would you determine that?
If it lives longer, if it helps it survive.
Wait, how would you determine that
it swims faster?
Okay, so if humans could swim faster, it doesn't apply.
Stop talking about humans.
Okay. So
we're talking about animals in general.
So if one embryo, right? Isn't this more of a Lamarckian view, though? Isn't that something you reject?
It's not.
Okay.
No, it is not.
So if an embryo hatches a web feet and otherwise its previous population didn't have web feet, you would determine whether or not that was selected for if it swam faster.
If it confers a survival advantage, the question will always be if it confers a survival advantage, then it is more likely to stay alive and therefore more likely to reproduce and therefore more likely to pass on that genome to offspring.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so easy to understand, and he just can't get it.
Right. There's a lot more I could have shown earlier as well about Jay Dyer's conspiratorial thinking, but but I do want to tell the audience real quick that guess who Jay Dyer works with, for anybody who doesn't know? None less than Alex Jones. He goes on InfoWars. And I believe he even substitutes for him sometimes when Alex Jones is absent from the show.
Wow. Great for his resume there.
Yeah. So this is the kind of person we're talking about here. So it all goes together. And Alex Jones has had one anti-Semite after you ever on his show, has said horrible things. So you can just, if you want to go find that evidence, you can do that yourself, and it's an absolute disaster. And so it should be no surprise that Jay Dyer is this ridiculous once you see that he works with Alex Jones.
Yeah, he's a joke. I haven't decided yet. I mean, if it's worth my time, I might do another little 10-minute thing on him. Sure. If you uncover anything particularly hilarious or egregious or embarrassing, just shoot it over to me by email. I'll throw it in there. But yeah,
I'll definitely keep that in mind. But the only thing that I got recently that you know about now is the fake master's degree claim. That would be the main reason to do it. Just to like, hey everybody, this guy lies about his degree, so that's just common knowledge now. Yeah, it's hilarious how he has the nerve, he has the gall to accuse somebody else of committing the argument from authority. He does it himself. And as Tom said, he wasn't even committing that argument from authority fallacy in the first place. He was just pointing out some valid facts that Jay just ignored entirely.
Yeah, it's the similarity. Phil bros are like flat earthers. They just throw out the names of random logical fallacies, like flat earthers do this, like Nathan Oakley or something. He'll just be like, affirming the consequent, reification, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you're just trying to sound smart when you are one of the dumbest people alive. That's pretty much what's happening here.
Now, I know you've kind of answered this question in a way already, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Are Jay Dyer and Jim Bob the most ridiculous creationists you've ever come across, and or people aside from Matt Walsh that you mentioned earlier?
They're pretty up there. Yeah, they're pretty ridiculous. I mean, as far as creationists go, like Kent Hovind is up there, obviously. Sabor is up there. But yeah, I mean, because it's like Sabor used a racial slur, and I mean it's very similar. But Jay is worse. Jay is the same but dialed up even a little hotter. Yeah, he is really, really insufferable. Trying to think. I mean, yeah, he's on the top tier. I don't know if he's number one, but yeah, it's pretty bad.
And one last thing before we close, what would your advice be to other YouTubers that might find themselves in similar situations to running across people like Jay Dyer and Jim Bob?
I mean, just be relentless. Just mock, expose, humiliate, go for the jugular, slam them to the ground, put your foot on their neck, don't let them get up. It's what they deserve. It's, anybody who follows them should be seeing them being manhandled that way. Hopefully he lost some credibility in the eyes of somebody that is following him. Definitely not his like hardcore inner circle, because they're never going to watch a single second of anything I do. But certainly some people on the periphery were kind of like, oh, I did not realize he was just a disgusting, toxic, racist piece of shit. Okay, well, I won't follow him anymore. So that's all you do. You just kind of like humiliate, eviscerate, and it just slowly chips away at their credibility and their social media standing and things.
Right. I can imagine at least a few people here, a few people there, as you were just saying, slowly chipping away, that were disturbed by the combination of the facts that have come out recently. At least it's become more clear, more widespread, and more so public knowledge than it was before. He's an anti-Semite. His arguments are hypocritical and wrong, and he lies about having a degree he doesn't have. He's just a fraud.
If you humiliate and expose these kinds of figures, you're never going to make them evaporate overnight. But what you can do is you can chip away at the periphery of their following, and the only thing that will remain is the really, really toxic and polarized and brainwashed kernel, and then that radicalizes the figure, because they have to become even more radical to retain that. Like this is what has happened to like Jordan Peterson and like so many of these other figures, where they seem credible, but then they start messing up, and then everybody kind of bails, and then that the fan base that hangs on radicalizes that person, and so now Jordan Peterson is just like universally known to be a complete fraud. So yeah, the more you assist in that process of chiseling away at the exterior, the faster they're going to radicalize and expose themselves as frauds. So it works.
Well said. Again, I just want to remind everybody real quick that I have Dave's YouTube channel, Professor Dave Explains, tagged in the description below. A link to it will also be in the pinned comment. And with that being said, Dave, thank you very much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hello viewers, thanks for watching this video from the History Valley YouTube channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if any of you wish to further support this channel, please consider checking out this channel's Patreon page and becoming a patron, and or donate through PayPal or through Super Chat during your live stream. Thank you.